tonight we had a great event as a part of the first annual City Hacks GR Tech Weekend and Hackathon. The forum, GR Michigan, Still the Furniture City, or America's Next Tech Hub, was a great meeting of the minds between some of the foremost innovative thinkers in West Michigan's tech ecosystem, people who lead companies, people who are tech advocates and who lead organizations and are interested in helping to build a very efficient and inclusive tech talent pipeline. The Midwest Tech Project is extremely excited about City Hacks GR Tech Weekend. We have to shout out all of our panelists: Carl Erickson from Atomic Object, Meredith Bronk, CEO of Open Systems Technologies, Mike Morin, CEO of Start Garden, Luis Perez, CEO of Loop Coding Center, and of course, last but not least, we had Mercedes Bargan from Spectrum Health IT. Oh, and of course, my good friend, Aaron Schopp from The Factory, from Elevator Up, the man, the myth, the legend. So we're really excited about having all these different people with different opinions talk about West Michigan's tech ecosystem in the industry, the on-ramps, the accessibility, and also, of course, the diversity. For us at the Midwest Tech Project, we view this weekend as an evolution of sorts. People know us for our mentoring program and our work with youth and trying to introduce and expose youth to all the different opportunities within the technology industry. But now we're really excited to move into being known also as an advocacy organization and more of a think tank that is convening people around technology culture. You can't really educate the youth if you're not engaging with parents, if you're not engaging with neighborhood associations and those other entities that are outside the four walls of a school around this wonderful industry. We're asking, is GR Michigan still the furniture city? Or is it America's Next Tech Hub? Can it be America's Next Tech Hub?
I think one of the strengths of Grand Rapids is our economic diversity. And I think chasing after what people think of when you say the word tech hub is not a good idea, and maybe not even feasible or possible to pull off. So I think we should be thinking about the diversity of our economy, where we come from, our roots of manufacturing and advanced manufacturing now for the future, and how information technology plays a role in the manufacturers that we have in Michigan to making them globally competitive. It's a critical role, a competitive differentiator. All of these companies are becoming software companies, whether they like it or not. And so that's a huge challenge. That's a big enough challenge all by itself. And I think we'll be in a better place, and by preserving that which has made us strong in the past.
Just saying something we're a tech hub is really hard because it's not terribly clear. And so when something's not very clear, it's harder for people to get behind. So when I was in St. Louis not too long ago, I got to check out, they have a place called Cortex, and Cortex is 200 square acres of innovation space. But for them, they didn't just say innovation. They focused on their core areas. And so just like we have core areas, they've got core areas where for them it's I think it's like agriculture, fintech, things like that. So as an entrepreneur or as a technologist, I knew that if I wanted to be in those spaces, I could go to those places.
When I think about Tech Hub, I think there's pros and cons to that. I do think that there's a recognition that technology is ubiquitous. It's everywhere, that manufacturing is different, that the financial services is different, that the roles that we have are different today and tomorrow than they were yesterday. And if acknowledging that as a region by saying we are technically savvy, we're technologically savvy, we're thinking about it, we're thoughtful about it, we're investing in it, I think that there's great benefit in that marketing, in that hype, in that recognition, because whether it's through advanced manufacturing or artificial intelligence or connected products, whatever that is, technology is changing. It's creating new business models. It's creating new service lines. It's changing so much of who we are in West Michigan in a way that allows us to stay diverse.
So when I started coding back in junior high school, my classroom, I was the only Latino student, and there was only one girl. So being in a room where I was the only person of my kind, it made me feel out of place. So now that I'm in college, I still see the same issue. Mostly of them are white, not many girls, most too. So my purpose is not to have another kid, another teenager go what I went through.
I think, we started drawing this line that like all of a sudden software became technology. There's material technology, there's manufacturing technology, there's all kinds of different, technology. And so, the way that it's being applied now, so for instance, the line between what's digital and physical is just disappearing. What's a product and what's software? Like, look at how many of your products. I mean, all of the chairs you're sitting in, all the walls you interact with, they're all going to become interactive. They're all going to become smart, right? I don't want to hang my TV on a wall. I want a wall that's a TV, right? I don't want to put my computer on a desk. I want a desk that's a computer, and all of that is just going to become a blur, right? And as it does, the other thing that's going to change is it's going to be almost indiscernible, the difference between a product and a service.
I think part of the adaptation for us as businesses is to ensure that we're listening to folks who use their products differently, and we don't blow them off because the old way has always worked for us.
Technology, when it gets applied and when it gets applied appropriately and in its most impactful way, is always going to change the model and the business and the process, and it's always going to change the people and how people interact with it.
Our ability to adapt to those as businesses is important, and our ability to listen to the users about how their behavior is changing is a leading indicator of those moves that need to be made.
The communities we perceive to be more tech-oriented, kids are being inspired by what they see in their parents and their friends' parents and the careers and the companies. It's like in the air. It has less to do with the direct curriculum in the school as it does their life experience.
There's diversity of thought, right, which we absolutely 100% need, but sometimes we just need to visibly see that there are people like us in the workplace, and it just makes good business sense. I don't care what industry you're in, whether it be healthcare, manufacturing. You have a customer, you have a business, you have a client, and they are diverse. So you need to make sure that your workforce is just as diverse as the people you're serving.
I think to get to the communities, we gotta reach out to the nonprofit organizations that are in the communities, because people go to nonprofit organizations to get informed, to get help, and all those services are for free. So if we can get connections with nonprofit, we can span the voice and tell them what are we doing, how are we doing things, and where are things happening. Sometimes most of the events are not in their communities, and that's why they don't get the information, because most of the stuff is happening downtown.
And the only way that all of our companies will be around is if we continue to reinvent ourselves. When we started in 2001, we were building desktop software. And that soon went away, and we were building web apps. And then that got eaten by mobile. And then we noticed that embedded's an opportunity, and then it's become Internet of Things. It will change.
Whether you're in computer science or you're in English literature, or whatever that curiosity is that you're pursuing, it's just fodder, right, for learning how to learn, hopefully.
Whoever is providing education, I think you need to do that with the community and the village that you live within.
I think we need to have a really serious conversation as a community about what's infrastructure. Okay? We don't have anybody in this community that doesn't have a road in front of their house, right? And I think you could make an argument that internet connectivity is no different than having water to your house.
Today has been an amazing panel discussion. This night would not be possible without our amazing sponsors, Star Garden, Atomic Object, Open Systems Technology, Ferris State University, Mercantile Bank, Downtown Grand Rapids Inc., Spectrum Health, and Grand Rapids Public Schools. Please stay on the lookout for more Midwest Tech project updates and events. You can find us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at the Midwest Tech Project. And also you can find us on our website at www.midwesttechproject.org. It has been a wonderful evening here at City Hack's kickoff of our panel discussion, and please stay tuned for the events to come. Thank you.